this is going to be most beneficial for you if you grab something to write with, because we're going to do some writing down today. I'm fresh off the workout. If we haven't met yet, my name is Ted, and I talk bass. This stream, the replay, it isn't for impatient people who are looking for magic pills and don't want to do any work. So, you know, I say that with love. I appreciate you being here, but you get breakthroughs from one level of understanding to another when you do the work. All right. And that's what we're going to do today. Also, if you're new around here, welcome. There is now 2 playlists that I'm building. Last week, we did an entire beginner series talking about holding the bass, getting your first notes, the 1, 2, 4 fingering. We talked about some money shapes. That's in the playlist on the homepage. When you're done with this, you go to the homepage, you'll see right at the top 2 playlists, right? This is video number 2 of a series on rhythm, basic rhythm. And I encourage you, if you're having your coffee right now, I'm not having coffee, I'm having a liquid death. Detroit in the house, Denver in the building, welcome. You guys get something to write with. All right, so I'm gonna show you something. Yesterday, we talked about whole notes. We talked about half notes. We talked about their corresponding rests. Every note value has a corresponding rest value, right? One of the most important things that we talked about is what I like to call the groove architecture or the groove framework, right? We're going to get deeper into that, but let's look at this again. So when I do this, all that tells me what? Tells me that there are 4 beats in a measure, and whatever combination of notes we need to get to equal 4 quarter notes. They usually say the quarter note gets the beat. And all that means is that you need the equivalent of 4 quarter notes in there. Just like you got a paper dollar and you got change. Doesn't matter how you combine that change, as long as it add up to $1. All right? Now, watch this. If I draw that line right there, now I got 2 measures. Not 1, 2. All right? Today we're talking about eighth notes. I'm going to just put a little repeat sign in there. You don't have to worry about your handwriting. I know some people that write notation down and they have beautiful handwriting. Some people like myself, I don't, and that doesn't matter. What matters is that you get it. And I find that writing things down makes it more concrete. So if you can follow along, write it down. Let's just review. If I put that whole note there, I have whatever note I'm playing, whatever, because we're only talking about rhythms now. Whatever note I'm playing is held out for 4 beats, okay? Let's do this. Let's write up here, this is measure 1, and this is going to be measure 2. But we have a problem in measure 2, and that is that we do not have anything in there, so we don't have the equivalent of 4 quarter notes. So we need to fill that with something. You can fill it with notes, but we're going to fill it with a rest. In this case, for the sake of the eyeballs, we're going to fill it with a whole rest. The way that I was taught this way back when in the dark ages was that a whole rest looks like a whole. It doesn't. And a half rest looks like a hat, a top hat, or pork pie hat, right? Now, we're only going to look at, for right now, we're only going to deal with measure 1. Measure 2 is going to be rest, all right? So now if I cut this in half, do I have the equivalent of 4 quarter notes? Absolutely not. No, sir, no, ma'am. I need 2 of them joints in order to get the equivalent of 4 quarter notes, right? For some of you old folks like me, you might remember a 50-cent piece. the $50. Are those things still in circulation? Right? Then we talked about, oopsies. Then we talked about quarter notes. So let's go back to our half note. That half note is worth 2 quarter notes. Making sense? So if I cut them things into 2 equal parts, right? I cut a half note into 2 equal parts, I get 2 quarter notes. Now, today, we're going to look at the 8th note. The 8th note is foundational in all music. All music. I know there's a lot of funk, soul, and R&B folks in here. It's foundational. Rock, stuff. 8th notes are the foundation of rock music, right? It's just foundational. So, how many beats do we need? We need 4 beats, right? I'm born here. Salute. We need 4 beats. Do I have the equivalent of 4 quarter notes? No, sir, no, ma'am. Do I have the equivalent of 4 quarter notes? Absolutely not. Now I do. Look at that. Now I do. You don't even, so there are 2 parts to like reading music, and doing this also is a sneaky way of teaching you how to read music. Some of y'all don't read music now, not because you don't want to, not because you're not smart. It's because you haven't come up with a system to get it. So when you're reading music, there's kind of 2 levels that you're reading, right? You're reading rhythm, right? So that's linear and horizontal. And then you're also reading pitch. What happens is, just like when you're reading words or when you learned how to read words, what happens is you start to see these as chunks. So right here, I'm looking at that, you're looking at that, and we know that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. Oops, I be 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, you notice I do not have a bass because rhythm is not specific to bass. Rhythm is rhythm. And the rhythm is life, and the life is rhythm. It's rhythm. All right. So when I was first learning how to read, one thing that I would do, and you can do this, you don't have to, but what I would start to do is I would look at like 1 beat at a time. Especially like if I was presented with, I played a lot of theater. So if I Bernstein, West Side Story was a hard show to play. And I would break it down. What the heck? Oh, that was my Bluetooth speaker going off. I'd look at 1 beat, and then I would get that 1 and then I would get the next beat. And then I would sound them out like words. And sometimes I would write out this. Or something, something like that, right? You do that enough times and you don't have to do it anymore. Music, learning any skill, music included, is repetition. So, we're not going to bring the bass in right now. We will, because I'm going to put on a beat and everything. So, stick around. It's going to get fun. We also have not introduced the metronome in this week, but we're going to right now. We're going to wait. Why? Because I want you to internalize this, right? I'm going to count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to start. And we're going to loop that 2 measures. We're going to loop this 2 measures until I say stop. Okay, let me repeat the direction again. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we start our 2 measures. So we got a 1 bar count in, 4 beats, and then we go. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to clap along. And once you're comfortable, I want you to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. Okay? I want you to play the rest. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you better be counting. 2, 3, 4, 1. When you're comfortable, I want you to stop counting. Because now you need to be feeling 1. 1. 1. I don't care how you acknowledge that rhythm in your body as long as you do. Feel me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Every note value or event or, yeah, let's say that, has a corresponding rest value. So let's get a little bit more interesting with this. Let's do this first. You know I'm just making this up off the top of my head, right? And you can too. So you can, if you're writing down with me, and you know how to write even a primitive, goofy looking set of eighth notes like this, you can start making up your own. Trust and believe. Okay. Right now I'm going to put quarter rest. Do I have the equivalent of 4 quarter notes? Absolutely. What does that sound like? I'm going to give you 4 beats in the beginning, and then we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and Oh, just wait till we get to 16th notes tomorrow. Okay? But we're talking about 8th notes. So we got to get those 8th rests in there. All right? Let's get that up out of there. Let's get this up out of here. Let's do this. Ooh, look at that. It looks like a 7. 7, 7, 7, 93, 11. Wanna spend the night with you, that's all right. Now, what is that? What does that look like? Type a 1 in the chat if you're confused. Type a 2 in the chat if you are like, oh my goodness, it is becoming clear. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Problem is, a lot of us want to pick up that bass. We want to play. We want to go from 0 to 𝗏𝗄 Pastorius, and we want to skip some things, which has its place. But listen, you eat your vegetables. Eat your veggies. Eat them. Okay, watch this. 1, and we're going to put 2 in parentheses. Remember I did that yesterday? 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Got it? Let's count together, friends. I promise you, we're gonna bring it to the bass, but don't rush me. 4 beats up top, You count with me. I'm coming to your house. I'm not coming to your house. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Oh, that's a rest. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. 2, 3, 4. 1 Easy money, right? Type a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard that rhythm before. If you've ever heard that rhythm somewhere in real life, type a 1 in the chat. Because I know that you have. I know that you have. But let's do this. Let's do this. Watch this. Watch this, friends. Let's add a little time. Let me know if you can hear the click. So that's that steady pulse. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1. 1 is orientation. 1. If you know where 1 is, you can figure the rest of it out. 1. 2. Let's make it more interesting. Let's make it more interesting. Woo! Say it. 1 and. Say what? Say what? Clap. 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Messed up. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just wait till we bring the bass in. Let's change this rhythm up. Let's change this rhythm up. Right now, this framework right now is sort of on beat, not sort of, is on beat 1 and beat 3. Those strong, those weak beats, boom, right? Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. You dig? So that's where that our kick is typically, and our snare is on 2 and 4. Let's switch it up. If you can't have fun around here, you in the wrong place. So when you come around here, I make a little noise, have a little fun. Because it ain't rocket science. Say it with me. It's pocket science. You got it right. Okay. Now, I'm not going to put eighth notes on the downbeat of 2 and 4. And I'm going to tell you why. Because just clapping, they would just sound like quarter notes with a staccato mark on them. Let me take a sip. But what about if we do this? Let's put this back here. And let's rest on beat 2. I'm totally making this up. I'm completely building this plane as I fly it right now. All right? You can too. That's what we do around here, baby. Look at that. Now, we're not making a sound. Making a sound on beat 1, but we still have to play that rest. We still have to play that rest. All right? 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Let's make measure 2 a little bit more interesting. Let's make measure 2 just a little bit more interesting. Type a 1 in the chat if you're ready to make measure 2 more interesting, or if you want a few minutes to clap this out first. Let me know. Type a 1 in the chat if you want to make measure 2 more interesting, or do you want a minute to clap? This 15-second delay is kind of a bummer. Let's go on and clap it first. We'll clap it a few times first. 1, 2. Here we go. 1, 2. Clap with me. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and rest. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 1, So, little tidbit here. And I can speak from my experience as a man who did not read music until much later in the game. Just like words. Have you ever seen the word? Of course you have. Worcestershire. I used to call it, what's this here sauce? What's this here sauce? Worcestershire sauce. You remember the first time you saw that and you was like, what? Now you just say Worcestershire or however you pronounce it in whatever region of the world you are in. It's the same thing. You start recognizing these little patterns and you recognize them as little words and phrases. Okay? Worcestershire. Or Wednesday. Whose idea was it to spell that word that way? Wednesday. Tommy Hayes in the building. Wednesday. Okay, so we are now going to make measure 2 kind of like 𝗚𝗏𝗦𝗧𝗏. Okay, so Tommy Hayes, we are one of the favorite things for local New Orleanians to do when people come to visit is to drive around the city and have them pronounce street names like 𝗚𝗏𝗦𝗧𝗏 or Calliope. Anyway, here we go. We're going to make measure 2 just a little bit more interesting, but we're going to do this by way of note values that we dealt with yesterday. Okay? We're going to combine them. So we'll put a quarter note on beat 1. Let's do a quarter rest on beat 2. And watch this. On beat 3 of the second measure, I'm going to have it be similar to beat 3 of the first measure. On purpose. It doesn't always have to happen that way, but that's what I'm going to do for this example. Gotta give myself a little bit more room right here. And let's put 2 eighth notes here. Now, let's say that was confusing to me. What I would do I'm telling you about my process now of how I learned how to read music at 35, right? And then went to make a, fair amount of money, pay my bills and doing gigs where I read, I had to read books of music, right? I would take that second measure since it's new material and I would just 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I would isolate that to where it was now there, okay? So 2 measures. 1, 2, count with me when you're ready. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and Sight reading happens the first time. I think there's a misconception about what sight reading is. And let me explain the reality of sight reading. And I'll give an example from my theater days. And this is how it worked for me out on the West Coast. Hey, man, can you do, hairspray, right? It runs from this day to this day. Okay, here's the book. Here's the cast recording. You get time to work on that by yourself, right? Then you'll have a first read through with the entire orchestra. In this orchestra, you have people who are experienced. They're good readers. But do you think everything just goes like there are no starts and stops and, make a note here and all that, right? People make their notes, blah, 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 blah. Then you get to the sit sing or the sits probe and you do it with the cast, right? Again, a lot of starting and stopping. By the time the performance, but by the time you get to opening night, you're reading, but you've seen this material so many times. You're so far past the, what's that? You know what I mean? Another hard show was, not hard, but a show called Anything Goes. Older show, I think from the 30s maybe, but there was some really, really tricky endings, especially at the end. And that took some shedding, individual shedding and ensemble shedding. It happens, right? But sight reading happens the first time you see a piece. Everything else after that is rehearsal. All right. Now, I know that you guys are ready to bring the bass in. So if you have a bass, bring it in. Bring it in, bring it in. And we're going to use this 2-bar idea. I'm going to put this out of the way. We're going to use this 2-bar idea as the basis of whatever comes out, whatever happens. All right? That's what we're going to do. So we're going to bring the bass in. And I don't think I've ever played this P bass as much as I have in the last 2 weeks. It's a good bass. It's the only Fender I own. The only one. The only one I own. I guess everybody's got to have a good P bass with flats in their arsenal. And this one is mine. Okay. Let me go back to the other screen so I can make sure I see the rhythm that we wrote down. There it is. All right. So we're going to use the note D, just like we used yesterday. Tommy says, so Burgundy. Yeah, that's right. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Now listen, I can change this if I don't like it. Okay? I can change it if I don't like it. You can change it if you don't like it. Right? This is why every time I do one of these things, I want you to grab a pen and paper and something to, look, somebody told me a long time ago that a short pencil beats a long-term memory any day of the week. Right? One of them old dudes said that. Write that shit down, man. Write it down. And if you could, again, I'm gonna reiterate this. If you can write primitive, if your handwriting is as ugly as mine, what do you know? You start to recognize these symbols in other places, no matter what they look like. The same way that you recognize letters or words, but you gotta put the reps in. You know that you need the equivalent of 4 quarter notes in each one of those measures. Okay? I'm going to put the beat on. And let's feel the beat first. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3. Let's do this. Let's play measure 1. Let's play measure 1 by itself, okay? And rest on measure 2. I could play around with the note length. We're resting on measure 2. All that improvisational stuff that I was doing, I was filling up the second measure. Okay, we'll get there down the line. If you are an intermediate bass player, intermediate to advanced bass player, and you are having a hard time getting the stuff out of here onto here, get your 7-day free trial to Groove School. We do weekly live calls, live coaching calls. You have direct access to me. There is even an AI practice assistant that I trained on vetted material that's in there as well. This week we're on a New Orleans funk, or this month rather, we're on a New Orleans funk challenge. So you can check out Groove School at tedtalksbass.com. Click the Groove School link, okay? We get deeper into this type of thing, okay? 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and I'm gonna choose. I'm only playing measure 1 right now. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and I'm gonna add only one note. I'm gonna add the flat 7. Come on, man. Ain't a whole lot of pressure, baby. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and okay. Now I'm gonna add measure 2 as written on the screen, but the only additional note that I'm gonna play is gonna be the flat 7. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. that up. 2. Now, what do I need to do? Because I done messed that up twice. I'm gonna isolate the second measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1. Only the flat 7. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And okay. Now I'm gonna add. Now I'm not trying to read or intellectualize that. Now I'm trying to feel that. 2, 3. Second measure. 2, 3, 4. 1. Let's put them together. Now I'm gonna play around with the root, flat 7, minor 3rd. I added the 4th there that time. Now I'm taking the basic idea and I'm adding all of those things, the root, the flat 7, the minor 3rd, the 4th, all the notes in the pentatonic scale, right? 1, 2, 3, and ornamental stuff. Now that first bar, let's call that, let's anchor on that. The thing that you hear over and over again, do da. So I'm gonna now erase measure 2, everything in measure 2. And the reason I'm gonna do that, oh, what happened? Let's see. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna erase everything in measure 2. And I'm gonna put a big old fat question mark in there. That's not a question mark. Riddle me this. Because the thing is going to be I play whatever I want in the second measure. 3, 4. Okay? So I was going to say that I hope that that makes sense. And I do. I do hope that makes sense to you. But I really don't. Hope is not the right word. And I'll tell you why. If you do what I tell you to do, and you grab yourself a writing utensil, okay? Grab yourself a writing utensil, and you go through the process. Get you a few head scratch moments. Everything that I just did, I showed you. And you know what I say. What I'm telling you is not the way, but it's show a way. Show a way. Okay. Some of these ideas I picked up from other places. There's nothing new under the sun. Somebody had to teach me. I'm showing you. But what my goal is to ultimately show you how to show yourself. You feel me? So this is what I want you to do. Do your homework. Come back to these playlists. Bookmark these playlists. Get your 7-day free trial of Groove School. At TEDTalksBase.com. TEDTalksBase.com. You try it for 7 days. Right now we're doing a New Orleans funk challenge. 30 days. We're on day 2. But it's never about learning one song. It's never about that. But every song got something in it to teach you, right? Give yourself a project, okay? But this is what I need you to do. I'm trying to get this thing up, these subscribers up, get this content in front of more bass players. So do me a favor. Share the content if you would. Like, share, subscribe, hype, all those things. Get the comment section lit up. Even when I end the stream, get the comments rolling, because other people are going to come by. They're going to have questions too. And those of you who continue to come around, I appreciate you rocking. But you guys, you're the pocket scientists, man, the pocket PhD. So when you see somebody asking a question, go on and share your wisdom and knowledge with them as well. Each one teach one. It ain't rocket science. It's pocket science. I catch y'all tomorrow. We'll talk about 16th notes. How about that? Peace.